Hi, this is Mr. Ward, and this is the PreAlgebra Do Now 31.2 video key. And here we have this crazy shape, and we're supposed to figure out from the information given how long x is. In fact, from this information, we could also figure out the perimeter, which would be an interesting project. But what we're going to be using is the Pythagorean triples. So I'm going to blow this up just a little bit so we can see it a little more clearly. Maybe. It will let me. Apparently, it's not letting me blow anything up. So that's okay. So there are some Pythagorean triples here. So there's the 3, 4, 5. We're looking for that. The 8, 15, 17, 5, 12, 13, and the 7, 24, 25. So this is a right triangle, and I've got a leg of 15 and a hypotenuse of 17. So that tells me that this over here is 8. So I'm going to put in an 8 here. And now this has a leg of 6, and this is a leg of 8. And that smells a lot like a 3, 4, 5, because that would be 2 times 3, and this would be 2 times 4. So this is probably 2 times 5. In fact, it is. This one is going to be 10. Now, 26, that makes me think of 13, because that's 2 times 13, and that's 2 times 5. So let's look. Okay, there's a 5, 12, 13, which tells me that this is probably the 5 in the 5, 12, 13 family. So this is 2 times 5. That's 2 times 13. So this will be 2 times 12. 5 times 2, 12 times 2, 13 times 2. So 2 times 12 will be 24. And then we're right into another Pythagorean triple here. 7, 24, 25 for the win. So x will equal 7. Okay, let me erase that dot. There, it's gone. Now that is the answer. So here we go. X equals 7. Adgers or units or something like that. Now we want to consider this one. If dB, this is dB, has a measure of 1 meter, how long is AD? All right, so it's going to be, I've given you the hint. Work out what CD would be. Okay, well, since I got 60 degrees here, and that's a right angle, that means this here is 30 degrees. So this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle over here on the side. It's kind of neat what happens if you actually take a right triangle, lay it on its side, because this right here is a right angle, drop an altitude, you produce two similar triangles. This is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. This is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. And the whole thing is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. But let's see what CD is. Well, if this is M, then that's going to be 2M. Okay, 2 meters. And this will be the square root of 3 meters. I just put that down for good measure. Maybe we'll need it later. Hint, hint. So that's meters. And now this one here is going to be whatever this is times the square root of 3. Well, that means it's square root of 3 times square root of 3 meters. And the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is just 3. So that's 3 meters. So that equals 3 meters. I'll type that in. So AD equals 3 meters. So what's interesting there, of course, is that means that this has a 3-to-1 ratio. And now the next question asks you, how long are AB, CB, and AC? Well, we just worked out that if this is 1, this is 3. So we can say that, so that's 1, and that's 3. So this whole thing from A to B is 4 meters. Okay, and if this is 4 meters, then this one has to be 1 meter, because that's the short leg. Okay, that's the hypotenuse for the big triangle. That's the short leg. And if that's 1 meter, this up here, I'm sorry, what am I saying? That's got to be 2 meters. So if this is 4 meters, that's 2 meters. That's half of 4. I tricked myself there for a second. And this one is got to be, since this is the short leg, that's the long leg. And is the opposite side to 60 degrees. That's got to be 2 root 3. Okay, and now we've got all the sides. We could work out the perimeter to that. So that's going to be, so AB equals 4 meters. CB equals 2 meters. And AC, let me scroll down a little bit so you can actually see what I'm doing. AC equals 2 square root of 3 meters. Now, if we wanted to find the perimeter of this whole thing, what we'd do is we'd add all those together. So let me actually do that just to demonstrate an important piece. So we're going to add all those together. So let me do that. Okay, that's 2 meters plus 2 root 3 meters, and 4 meters plus 2 meters. I'm just going to say perimeter equals 4 meters plus 2 meters plus square root of 3 meters. So let's see what that simplifies to. Okay, so 4 meters plus 2 meters can be simplified to 6 meters. And 2 root 3, well, in fact, what we would do is we would just leave it at this. I would get rid of the word the meters here and put it out here. This is a legitimate way to write this. It's the exact way to write this. If we were not using that sort of code, I'm going to write it like this. 6 plus 2 root 3 meters. Okay, and this is a perfectly fine way to write a number. It just happens to have a rational part and an irrational part. And you will run into this sort of compound structure, or later on a complex number structure, when you get into what are so-called imaginary numbers. But this is a perfectly fine way. This is the exact way to write it. If you wanted to get an estimate, you could figure out what the 2 times the square root of 3 is going to be, roughly 3.4. So this is going to be about 9.4 meters, because the square root of 3 is about 1.7. Okay, but this is an estimated version. So this is exact. And this is an estimate. Okay, though decimals may feel like they're more accurate, they often are less accurate. Okay. And that is it for the Do Now. I hope that was helpful.